Hello, my dear aspirants, and welcome back to the channel. So, guys, among all the speculations about recruitment for RBI Grade B, I have brought forward for you the previous year paper that was conducted in the year 2024. And in this session, we will be solving all the questions right here, and this will help you to understand what are the important aspects in this section that you need to focus upon. What level what type of questions do you face in the exam, what difficulty level do you have to prepare for, and this will give you a lot of insights into how to execute the paper when you are in the exam, right? So that is that. So don't forget to like the session, guys, and don't forget to subscribe if you're here for the first time. But guys, before going further, I would like to inform you about the free course that we have launched for you. So what you need to do is, the link is given in the description of the video. Once you click on that link, you will land on our homepage. Now this is a free starter pack for RBI Grade A, Grade B, and NABARD Grade A and SEBI Grade A exam. So you can just see that we have provided you some of the concept classes just to understand what content we provide to our aspirants. So you can go check out the free course for either NABARD or SEBI or RBI, and you will get to understand what content quality we are providing to the aspirants in our courses. So you can join that, and you can observe and you can see what you are getting here. So guys, let's start with that. So this is the previous year paper for your English section for your RBI Grade B exam. This was conducted in the year 2024. So let's start, guys. The first the question is about reading comprehension passage. So how to go about reading comprehension passage is, it's very simple. It's very logical, that you it's the rationality of the question tells you that you should read the questions first before reading the passage. Okay, so what you need to do is underline the keywords in the passage, so that what you get to understand what you have to look for, what you have to find in the paper. I mean the answer, what you have to where do you have to look for the solution or the answer, and then you can start reading the passage so that you are mentally prepared. So let's read the questions first, and then let's understand how we are going to tackle the answers. In the first question is, in the context of the passage, which of the following best illustrates the strategic significance of Singapore for US trade in the region? Which of the following best illustrates the strategic significance of Singapore? So the question is strategic which of the following options illustrates the strategic significance of Singapore with respect to US trade? So this passage is going to be about US Singapore trade. That's what I get from the question. Second question is, the passage mentions CPTPP. What inference can be drawn about its role in US Singapore relations? So we have to find what role CPTPP plays in the US Singapore relationship. Third is, which of the following can be inferred about the nature of trade challenges mentioned in the passage? So what can be inferred about the nature of trade challenges mentioned in the passage? Considering the information provided, what might be a potential consequence of failing to maintain communication between the US and Singapore? So what could be the consequence of not maintaining communication between the two countries? So what could be the consequence? We have to find that. What does the passage imply about Singapore's economic strategies in relation to US firms? So what are Singapore's economic strategies in relation to US firms? How does the passage characterize the evolution of US Singapore trade relationship over the decades? So what is the what does the evolution about the relationship between the two countries tells you? Which statement best captures the underlying theme of collaboration between the US and the Singapore? So what can be understood about the collaboration between the two countries? And the last question is, I think there were all factual questions this time. So what can be concluded about the potential future of US Singapore trade relation based on the passage? Okay, now we are mentally prepared what we have to look for. So note down the keywords when you are solving comprehension, and then read the passage, and then try to find the answers in one reading itself. That should be your aim for the exam. Okay, now let's read the passage, guys. The trade relationship between the US and Singapore has evolved significantly over the past few decades. This is one question, remember the last question. As a major trading partner in Southeast Asia, Singapore serves as a strategic gateway for US goods and services entering the region. In 2020, bilateral trade between the two countries reached an impressive $62 billion, encompassing various sectors such as technology, pharmaceuticals, and consumer goods. This dynamic trade relationship has been bolstered by agreements such as Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or that's what TPP is. Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. So this has also bolstered the agreements between the two countries. The dynamic trade relationship has been bolstered by agreements such as CPTPP, which provides a framework for trade facilitation and dispute resolution. So that's what the role of CPTPP is. All right, next paragraph. Singapore's robust economy, characterized by strong services sector, has attracted US companies seeking to expand their footprint in Asia. The city states investment in innovation and technology creates a favorable environment for American firms, particularly in the areas of finance, logistics, and healthcare. Okay. In fact, many US tech giants have established their regional headquarters in Singapore to capitalize on its strategic location and advanced infrastructure. Additionally, both nations have engaged in collaborative initiatives aimed at addressing global challenges such as climate change, cybersecurity, and public health risks. Okay. Despite the favorable trade conditions, challenges remain. Trade tensions, particularly concerning tariffs and regulations, can impact the seamless flow of goods. So there are issues like trade tensions. For instance, recent global events have prompted discussion about supply chain resilience, leading both countries to reassess their trade strategies. Furthermore, as both countries navigate the evolving geopolitical landscape, it is essential for them to maintain open lines of communication. So that is why, as both countries navigate the evolving geopolitical landscape, it is essential for them to maintain open lines of communication and cooperation to ensure mutual benefits. So that's what the point is. That's why they need to keep the communication open. The interconnectedness of their economies suggests that disruptions in one can significantly affect the other. So that is how the interconnectedness, that's how close the two economies are. As the US Singapore continue to deepen their trade ties, they are also exploring new areas of collaboration, including sustainability and green technologies. This forward-looking approach reflects their commitment to not only enhance economic growth but also to tackle pressing global issues. So that's also their agenda. The focus on innovation is expected to yield long-term benefits for both economies, particularly as they adapt to changing market conditions. So it is expected to yield long-term benefits to both the economies. Now let's get to the questions, guys. In the context of the passage, which of the following best illustrates the strategic significance of Singapore for US trade in the region? Singapore's low labor cost attract many US manufacturing? No. The country's position as a regional logistics hub enhances US market access? Yes. Singapore's stringent regulation provides a framework for US firms? No. The city-state's historical ties with the US foster deeper economic integration? No. Singapore's reliance on agricultural limits? No. Again, the point was the country's position as a regional logistics hub enhances US market access. This was mentioned in the passage. Yeah, so in the second line, Singapore serves as a strategic gateway for US goods and services entering the region. So that was given. So answer is option number B. Next question, guys. The passage mentions CPTPP. What inference can be drawn about its role in US-Singapore relation? It primarily benefits Singapore's agriculture sector? No. It signifies a shift towards unilateral? No. Unilateral trade policies? No. It establishes a multilateral platform for resolving trade disputes? Yes. It has limited relevance due to existing bilateral agreements? No. It reflects a decline in US interest in Southeast Asia? No. It clearly it was mentioned that it establishes a multilateral platform for resolving trade disputes. ये था अपना CPTPP, trade facilitation and dispute resolution. So that is your answer. Which of the following can be inferred about the nature of trade challenges mentioned in the passage? They're solely due to external economic pressures. They suggest a need for stricter trade regulations. They indicate the complexities of international trade dynamics. They are temporary and likely to resolve without intervention. They are primarily driven by technological advancements. No, guys. They indicate the complexities of international trade dynamics, nature of trade challenges. ये था ना अपने यहाँ पे to ensure mutual benefits. So evolving geopolitical landscape, that is the that is the problem. So trade tensions, particularly concerning tariffs and regulations, so that is the challenge. And for example, it can affect the supply chain resilience, leading both countries to reassess their trade strategies. So as they're navigating evolving geopolitical landscape, it is important for them to maintain open communication. So the correct answer is option number C. They indicate the complexities of international trade dynamics. Next question, guys. Considering the information provided, what might be a potential consequence of failing to maintain communication between the US and Singapore? An increase in agriculture exports for Singapore? No. Reduction in technology transfer from the US? No. Heightened trade tensions leading to economic isolation? A surge in cultural exchanges between the two nations? Yeah, a shift in Singapore's focus towards Europe. So, what can be about the communication? Uh, the disruptions, one can significantly affect the other. So the interconnectedness of their economy suggests that disruptions in one can significantly affect the other. So that is why open lines of communication and cooperation to ensure mutual benefits. So uh, what can happen if they fail to maintain communication? Technology transfer, heightened trade tensions leading to economic isolation. Yes. A surge in cultural exchanges between the two. No, it's not about cultural exchanges. A shift in Singapore's focus towards Europe. No, it is about heightened trade tensions, and that is going to become a problem in this area. So option C is the correct answer. Question number 5. What does the passage imply about Singapore's economic strategies in relation to US firms? They prioritize local companies over foreign investments? No. They focus on traditional sectors rather than innovation? No. They actively foster a conducive environment for foreign collaboration? Yes. They impose heavy restrictions on foreign businesses? No. They solely depend on US investments for growth? Not mentioned. So again, option C is the correct answer. They actively foster a conducive environment for foreign collaboration. Next, how does the passage characterize the evolution of US Singapore trade relation over the decades? पहली लाइन में था ये, as a stable and predictable alliance and increasingly reliant on political cooperation? No. As a dynamic interplay influenced by global trends? Yes. As marked by frequent trade disputes? No. As largely benefiting one side? No. So only option A or C could be correct. As a stable and predictable alliance, or as a dynamic interplay. See, they all also mentioned they're looking to further, grow their collaboration. So I think option C is the right answer. Their relationship can be described as a dynamic interplay influenced by global trends. Yes. Next, question number 7. Which statement best captures the underlying theme of collaboration between the US and Singapore? Both countries prioritize military agreements or? No. Their cooperation is mainly limited to trade agreements? Not mentioned. They work together on shared global challenges beyond trade? Yes. Economic interest overshadow environmental concerns? No. Collaborative efforts are mostly symbolic? No. Again, option C is the right answer. They work together on shared global challenges beyond trade. Next, guys, question number 8. What can be concluded about the potential future of US Singapore trade relation? They're likely to diminish? No. They will remain stagnant without? No. They will thrive with continued communication and cooperation? Yes. They will become exclusively focused on technology? No. They will pivot towards closer ties with China? No. Again, no mention of China there. So they will thrive with continued communication and cooperation. So guys, this is what you have to do. Read the questions first, identify what you have to look for, and then read the passage and look for your answers. And you should only read your passage once and be able to solve all the questions in one go. That should be your your target in the exam. Chale. Let's move to the next set of questions. Next is, you are given a sentence which is divided into 4 parts which are jumbled. Okay, you have to rearrange the following parts to form a coherent and grammatically correct sentence. So sentence rearrangement. So not rearrangement, sentence reshuffling basically. So let's read it. The groundbreaking research indicates are more severe than previously understood, necessitating immediate conservation efforts across multiple ecosystems. That the implication of climate change. Okay, the groundbreaking research indicates B तो नहीं हो सकता, indicates necessitating immediate conservation, or indicates that the implication of climate change are more severe. So I think this should be 1, that D should be 2, then it should be B, are more severe than previously understood, necessitating immediate conservation efforts across multiple ecosystems. So it should be A, D, B, C. Is there any A, D, B, C? Yes, option 5 is your correct answer. Next question, guys. Question number 10. In response to emerging threats such as cyber attacks on critical infrastructure, governments must implement comprehensive strategies that not only safeguard data but also enhance overall resilience. So it looks like ABCD, right? In response to emerging threats such as cyber attacks on governments, comprehensive strategies that not only, I think it should be, now let's look at it. Governments must implement comprehensive strategies that not only no, I think it should be this. Governments, see, you start the sentence with the subject, not the cause. No, I mean, not the consequence, right? So, governments must implement comprehensive strategies in response to emerging threats such as cyber attacks on critical infrastructure that not only safeguard data but also enhance overall resilience. So yes, so it should be CABD. CABD. Yes, option 5 is your correct answer. So why can't it be ABCD? See guys, the explanation is you can't start with the consequence. You start with the subject, the point that you are trying to make. So governments must implement comprehensive strategies in response to emerging threats. Not in response to emerging threats such as cyber attacks on critical infrastructure. Governments must implement comprehensive strategies that not only safeguard data but also enhance overall resilience. So I think it should be CABD. So that's my answer to this. Next question, guys. The initiative aims to foster between technological and community need foster innovative solutions that bridge the gap between, yeah. So the initiative aims to foster innovative solutions that bridge the gap between technological advancements and community needs, thereby ensuring sustainable development in urban areas. So ADBC. ADBC is there, guys. ADBS, option C is your correct answer. So that is the right answer, guys. All right, moving ahead. Now, next type of question is you are given a sentence which is divided into 5 parts. You have to find which part has an error in it. So there is no error wala option in this. There is only 5 parts of the sentence, and you have to find the erroneous part. Okay. Let's read the sentence. The committee, which was constituted to address the growing concerns regarding climate change and sustainability, have submitted its recommendations last week, but the government is yet to act on them. I think मुझे तो गलती पता लग गई, सब्जेक्ट यहाँ पे कमेटी था, सो कमेटी के लिए हम हैव नहीं लगा सकते, क्या आना चाहिए था यहाँ पे हैज. द कमेटी विच वॉज, देखो यहाँ भी लिखा हुआ, विच वॉज कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड टू एड्रेस द ग्रोइंग कंसर्न्स रिगार्डिंग क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी has submitted its recommendations, not their, its recommendations. So clearly this is incorrect. Option C is your correct answer. It should be has in place of have. Next question, guys. If the project had been approved sooner, it would have significantly reduced the risk of failure that the team is currently facing, illustrating the importance of timely decision. No, guys, this is a conditional sentence. In conditional sentence, we do not, the only helping verb we use is were. So the project had been, if the project had been approved sooner, it would have significantly reduced the risk of failure that the team were facing currently. Guys, in conditional sentences, always remember the helping verb that we can use is only were. If I were, if India were a developed country, no, not if India is a developed country, yeah, if India will be a developed country, no, if India were a developed country. So clearly option C is your answer again in this option. Next, guys, the author's intention was to provoke thoughts and stimulate discussions. The author's intention was to provoke thoughts and stimulate discussions which are often overlooked by readers who take for granted the depth of the narrative. Again, same. The subject is intention. The author's intention was to provoke thoughts and stimulate discussions which are or which is often overlooked by readers who take for granted the depth of the narrative. So it should be is, not are, again, because the subject here is singular. Intention. So again option C is your correct answer. काफी C वाले ऑप्शन मिल रहे हैं इसमें, नहीं. Next question, guys. चलो. While many scholars give me a second, guys. While many scholars argue that technology has revolutionized the way we communicate, there remain a notable absence of evidence supporting the claim that it has significantly improved interpersonal relationships. I think the error was very simple again. While many scholars argue that the technology has revolutionized the way we communicate, then there the second clause is a it's a demonstrative clause. The there remain or there remains. So if a clause begins with there, we look at the next noun. So there remain or remains a notable absence. So the subject here is absence. So it should be remains, not remain. So there remains a notable absence of evidence supporting the claim that it has significantly improved interpersonal relationships. So it should be remains, not remain. Thank God we've got an option B here. So the error was in B part, guys. While many scholars argue that technology has revolutionized the way we communicate, there remains a notable absence. Not remain, it should be remains because the subject is singular. Next question, guys. Okay, it's a different question. The questions in each of the following questions are grammatically correct and meaningful sentences given with 4 words in bold. Which of the following words should replace each other? So, word replacement, word reshuffle. All right. After you believe, after you repetition, after you explore, after you engage. Okay. After you believe, you need to commit time to learning. Say an hour every day to explore that new software at your workplace, and finally you will repetition in engage and application of the new knowledge to convert it into a skill. No, after you believe, you need to commit time to learning, say an hour every day to explore that new software at your workplace, and finally you will engage in repetition and believe in explainer. So I think finally you will engage in repetition and application of new knowledge to convert it into a skill. So C should be replaced with D, guys. So it should be you will engage in repetition and application of the new knowledge. So C with D. Is there any option? C with D. Yes. Option B is your correct answer. So C was to be replaced with D. So this is, you guys, you have to look at the syntax of the sentence and make a logical deduction that this word is grammatically incorrect here and it should be replaced or reshuffled with another word. Alright, guys, next question. Your command over the language is not stepping. No, it's not critical. Yes, not entertaining, not communicate. I think this should be critical. Your command over language is not critical, but what matters is stepping into your audience's shoes. So A with B. Yes, guys. So your command over language is not critical, but what matters is stepping into your audience's shoes and working hard to entertaining. We don't use to entertaining. Working hard to communicate in a relatable, entertaining, and informative manner. So A with B and C should be replaced interchanged with D. So A with B, C with D. Yes, option D is your correct answer. Okay, once you learn how to do it, they seem easy, but you need to learn how to go about doing them. Next question, guys. Although the Central Bureau of Investigation argued that cold-blooded interpreted prosecution, no, murder, yes. So although the CBI argued that the cold-blooded murder by security forces would not require any sanction for prosecution, the court interpreted the requirement of sanction widely. Yes, so although the CBI argued that the cold-blooded murder by security forces would not require any sanction for prosecution, the court interpreted the requirement of sanction widely. So B should be replaced with D. B with D. Option E is your correct answer, guys. All right, moving to the next question. Okay, in each of the following sets of sentences, 5 sentences are provided. Your task is to rearrange the sentences to form a coherent and logically structured paragraph. Choose the correct order to form the options provided. Okay, so sentence rearrangement, but this is only 1 mark. So guys, you have to use your options to solve such question, guys. अगर आपको 1 मार्क के लिए ऐसे 5 sentences आ जाए तो इसमें बस ऑप्शन देख के एलिमिनेट करके और अपना आंसर देखा करो. First, how to look for the first sentence, right? So look for pronouns and conjunctions. You know, the first sentence will definitely not have a conjunction in it and probably not a pronoun in it as well. So look for sentences with pronouns and conjunctions, eliminate them, that they cannot be sentence number 1, and you will get your sentence number 1. So let's do it. The intricacies of global trade have necessitated a re-evaluation of traditional economic paradigms. Okay, as a result, no, this cannot be sentence number 1. This evolving landscape is, no, this cannot be sentence number. Consequently, conjunction cannot be number one. Such a comprehensive perspective is essential. Such, again, can't be number one. So obviously option number A is sentence number one. So now look at the option, guys. How many options are there with sentence number A? You can eliminate clearly option number 2, 4 and 5. Only 1 and 3 stay. So A, C, B, D, E or A, D, C, B, E. So let's see if A can be followed by C or A is followed by D. The intricacies of global trade have necessitated a re-evaluation of traditional economic paradigms. Now, this evolving landscape is characterized by rapid technological advancements and shifting consumer preferences. Yeah. Consequently, businesses must navigate a labyrinth of new challenges while seeking competitive advantage. I don't think it's D. I think it's C. So it should be this evolving landscape. See, economic paradigms, landscape. This is, I think, the connectivity. The intricacies of global trade have necessitated a re-evaluation of traditional economic paradigms. This evolving landscape is characterized by rapid technological advancements and shifting consumer preferences. Okay, then B, as a result, policymakers are compelled to consider a multifaceted approach to regulation. Okay, then D, consequently, businesses must navigate a labyrinth of new challenges while seeking competitive advantage in such comprehensive perspective. Yes, so clearly option 1 is your right answer. So guys, ye wale questions, we can solve such questions with the help of your options. Let's look at the next question, guys. Again, same, you have to do it. Let's try to find out the first sentence first. In an era marked by information overload, discernment has emerged as an invaluable skill. Okay, the ability to critically evaluate sources is paramount in navigating the complexities of digital age. Okay, thus this cannot be sentence number 1. Without such skills, no, ultimately no. So I think it can be only A or B. How many options are with A and B? So you can eliminate the rest of the options, only 1 and 2. So B, A, C, D, E or A, C, B, E, B, E, D. Let's look at A and B. In an era marked by information overload, discernment has emerged as an invaluable skill. The ability to critically evaluate sources is paramount in navigating the complexities of the digital age. No, guys, I think option A is the first sentence, and that gives you your choice. A, after that C. Thus, educational institutions must prioritize teaching methods that cultivate this essential competency. Yes, they are talking about the skill, discernment, right? So again, second, C talks about it. Then B, the ability to critically evaluate sources is paramount in navigating the complexities of digital age. Yes. Then it should be E. Ultimately, fostering a generation of informed citizens hinges on equipping learners with the tools to assess information rigorously. Yes. And then last, D, without such skills, individuals may find themselves susceptible to misinformation and manipulation. Absolutely. So option B is your correct answer, guys. So if you have only one marker question for 5 sentences, use your options to eliminate the wrong ones and find out quickly what should be the right sequence, and you get your answer, right? All right, guys, let's move ahead. Question number 21. It's a new question. So for each of the question, you will be given an idiom or phrase used in a sentence along with multiple choice option. You have to choose which option best describes the meaning of the given idiom. So this is idiom and phrases, guys. Let's look at the sentence first. After a successful start to the project, the manager encouraged the team to keep the ball rolling to maintain their momentum. So what is the meaning of keep the ball rolling? To maintain momentum in an ongoing activity, to play a sport that involves a ball, no. To cause a delay in progress, no. To make a ball move, to change direction suddenly. No, guys, to keep the ball rolling means to maintain momentum in an ongoing activity. उसी को बोलते हैं to keep the ball rolling. Let's continue. Let's keep on doing that. So option A is your correct answer. Question number 22, guys. The sentence is given again idiom. After recovering from her injury, Jenna was back in the saddle, ready to ride her horse again. So what is back in the saddle means? So this is a very common idiom, back in the saddle. So returning to a previous position or situation, starting a new job after a long break, having difficulty with an old task, no. Enjoying a ride on a horse again, no. Taking a break from work, no, guys. Again, option A is correct. So to be back in the saddle means to be back in the driver's seat, to be back into to resume something that you were doing and get back on the horse, or to get back in the saddle. To get back in the saddle means to start again, to start working again. So returning to a previous position or a situation is called to be back in the saddle. All right, guys, next question. Again, idiom question. When he learned about the sudden change in plans, he was completely taken aback by the news. So, taken aback. What is the meaning of the phrase here? Taken aback. So, returning to a previous place? No. So, when he learned about the sudden change in the plans, he was completely taken aback. Matlab surprised, shocked. So, returning to a previous place? No. Being held back? No. Surprised or shocked? Yes. Moving forward confidently? No. Feeling regretful? No. So, correct answer is option number C, surprised or shocked. I was surprised, yeah, I was shocked after learning about the sudden change in the plan. So that is what taken aback means. Very well done, guys. Next, okay, new type of question. Double fillers. I think two words or phrases are missing. Choose the most appropriate pair of words to fill in the blank. So double phrases were there. Let's look at the questions and let's solve them. The scientists' groundbreaking research. Groundbreaking research. So guys, always look at the tone of the sentence to decide your options, right? That will help you to critically eliminate the options and then find your answer. So the scientists' groundbreaking research was met with dash as her radical theories. Okay, so radical theories dash established norms within the academic community. So it was met with acclaim. You don't meet with acclaim, you get acclaim. So can't, this is incorrect. Met with skepticism, yes. Indifference, मतलब कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा, नहीं. अगर ground breaking है तो फर्क तो पड़ेगा. Met with enthusiasm, या met with hostility. Enthusiasm क्योंकि radical theories हैं तो फिर तो enthusiasm I think नहीं होना चाहिए. Circumvented नहीं, doesn't make sense. Met with hostility, hostility as her radical theories diminished. No, guys, I think the correct answer is you met with skepticism. The scientists' groundbreaking research was met with skepticism as her radical theories challenged established norms within the academic community. So, option B was the correct answer. Chale guys, next question. The diplomat's remarks were deliberately dash to avoid dash the sensitive nature of ongoing negotiations. Okay, diplomat के हम तो आई थिंक वो थोड़े केयरफुल से वर्ड्स होंगे. सो द डिप्लोमैट्स रिमार्क्स वर डेलिबरेटली एम्बिगुअस, ओके, वर्बोस, वेरी डिटेल्ड, ओके, प्रोवोकेटिव. डिप्लोमेट प्रोवोकेटिव तो नहीं करेगा. टू अवॉइड इन्फ्लेमिंग नहीं. फोर्ट्राइट, साफ साफ कह दिया. डिप्लोमेट साफ साफ कुछ भी नहीं कहता. इंसाइटफुल, डेलिबरेटली इंसाइटफुल टू अवॉइड ट्रिविलाइजिंग. ट्रिविलाइजिंग मतलब मामूली सी बात. नो. अब ये ऑप्शन ए और बी हो सकता था. द डिप्लोमेट्स रिमार्क्स वर डेलिबरेटली एम्बिगुअस या वर्बोस टू अवॉइड अंडरमाइनिंग द सेंसिटिव या क्लैरिफाइंग. नो गाइस, अंडरमाइनिंग दैट मीन्स टू basically to to affect the sensitive nature of ongoing negotiations. So they were ambiguous. So the diplomat's remarks were deliberately ambiguous to avoid undermining, right? So that you know it doesn't, his remarks do not criticize or undermine the sensitive nature of the ongoing negotiations. So they don't exacerbate the situation. So option A is the correct answer. Next question, guys. The artist's latest exhibit filled with dash imagery was intended to provoke dash reflections on the societal norms. The artist's latest exhibit filled with dash imagery. Mundane is boring imagery, no. Chaotic imagery हो सकता है. Abstract imagery, contrived means to रिफ्लेक्शन, नो. कंट्राइव मीन्स टू किसी को धोखा देने के लिए कोई चीज बनाना, झूठ पकाना. ग्रोटेस्क मतलब इतने निर्मम, निर्दयी. तो ग्रोटेस्क इमेजरी वाज इंटेंडेड टू प्रोवोक. ट्रिवियल होता है छोटा सा, ना के बराबर नहीं. विविड इमेजरी वाज इंटेंडेड टू प्रोवोक क्रिटिकल रिफ्लेक्शंस ऑन सोसाइटल नॉर्म्स. सो आइदर इट कुड बी बी और ई. सो द आर्टिस्ट लेटेस्ट एग्जिबिट फिल्ड विद chaotic imagery was intended to provoke introspective reflections on societal norms. Yes. The artist's latest exhibit filled with vivid imagery was intended to provoke critical reflections on, no, not critical reflection. I think it's chaotic because it was intended to provoke introspective. So that's why the imagery was chaotic for everyone, because it was intended to provoke introspective reflections on societal norms. All right, guys. So option B is the correct answer. Next question, guys. The professor's lecture on existentialism was dash yet profoundly dash, leaving students both puzzled and intrigued. So थोड़ा मतलब उल्टा opposite type लग रहा है. So the professor's lecture on existentialism was opaque. Opaque does not that means opaque and enlightening doesn't make sense. Monotonous, something repetitive, and it was monotonous. That means something which keeps on repeating. No. Lucid, something very clear and convoluted. yet profoundly, मतलब बहुत clear था लेकिन बहुत छुपा हुआ था, मतलब I don't think so. Esoteric is something that is understood by very few people, मतलब very wise people. So the professor's lecture on existentialism was esoteric and yet profoundly illuminating, कि भाई वो बड़ा illuminating भी था, leaving students both puzzled and intrigued. Yes. And lecture was straightforward and profoundly perplexing. No, guys. The correct answer is option D. The professor's lecture on existentialism was esoteric, something that is understood by very wise few people, yet profoundly illuminating. It was very, intriguing. It was very illuminating, very thought-provoking. So that's why the students were left both puzzled and intrigued. So option D is your correct answer, guys. All right, next question, new type of question. Let's read the direction. In each of the following questions, two statements are provided along with 5 connectors. Only one of the connectors can be used to combine the given two statements into one coherent sentence. So we have to find the connector वाले connecting वाले statement, दो statement दिए हैं, which connector can connect them. So we have to read the statement and see which of the options can connect the two statements. Okay, let's read the statements, guys. The report outlined the dire consequences of climate change, detailing how rising temperatures and extreme weather events could devastate ecosystems and economies worldwide. Okay, critics argued that the document was overly pessimistic and did not adequately consider technological innovations that could mitigate these effects. So ये तो counter sentences एक दूसरे को counter कर रहे हैं. तो notwithstanding, ठीक है. Similarly, critics argued नहीं. Although critics argued that the document was overly pessimistic, no. Therefore, critics argued no. It's therefore it's continuity, but we have to find a contradiction in light of no. The guy is notwithstanding, that means not agreeing with the statements. Critics argued that the document was overly pessimistic. So the report outlined the dire consequences of climate change, detailing how rising temperatures and extreme weather events could devastate ecosystems. Notwithstanding, not agreeing with that, critics argued that the document was overly pessimistic and did not adequately consider technological innovation. So option A is the correct answer. Next question, guys. Let's read the statements. The government's new policy initiative aims to promote renewable energy sources, encouraging both private investment and public engagement in sustainable practices. Okay. So the government's new policy initiative aims to promote renewable energy sources, encouraging both private investments and public engagement in sustainable practices. Detractors have raised concerns about the feasibility of the initiative, arguing that it may lead to economic instability in the short term due to job losses in traditional energy sectors. Okay, ये भी contradictory है. Despite, as a result, therefore, while, in contrast, I think, guys, it's while. So they're putting the two sides of the same coin, that the government's new policy initiative aims to promote renewable energy sources, encouraging both private investment and public engagement in sustainable practices, while detractors have raised concerns about the feasibility of the initiative, arguing that it may lead to economic instability in the short term due to job losses in traditional energy sector. So while is the contradiction here. So while detractors have said this. And last question, guys. Again, same connector based question. The author's latest novel weaves a complex narrative that explores the intricacies of human relationships and the profound impact of societal expectations on individual choices. Many critics have pointed out that the storyline suffers from pacing issues, which detracts from the overall emotional resonance of the character's journey. So again, contradictory. Consequently, although, even so, in addition, therefore, I think it's although. So the latest novel was weaves a complex narrative that explores the intricacies of human relationships and the profound impact of societal expectations on individual choices. Although many critics have pointed out that the storyline suffers from pacing issues, which detracts from the overall emotional resonance of the character's journey. So option B is the correct answer, guys. So guys, these were the questions asked in the previous year paper 2024, and I hope this will help you in your preparation and in your journey ahead, right? So guys, that was it. But before I wrap up the session, let me also show you about the courses that we we have launched for you. If you're preparing for RBI, what you have to do is just go to your browser and type edutap.co.in, and this will land you on our home page. Now under RBI Grade B courses, which is also Grade A plus Grade B now. So hopefully, now when you scroll down, you will see all the courses launched by us. Now there's a test series, there is a silver course, and this is the one-stop solution, guys, gold course. Now it has everything. Now test series, there is only test series test questions. Silver course is only for phase 2, only for phase 2, not for phase 1. But gold course is where we are offering each and everything, you phase 1 plus phase 2 plus interview. It includes everything: live classes, concept notes, summary sheets, mock test, interview sessions, everything. So you can download the brochure from here, and we are offering a flat 15% discount on this early bird. So guys, go get benefited from it and start your preparation today. All right, so guys, I wish you all the very best for your preparation ahead. Keep on working hard, keep on giving your best, and I'm sure this will help you in your preparation and in your journey ahead. Guys, if you have any doubt regarding any of our courses or anything at all, you can always call us on this number, which is 8146207241, or you can also drop us an email at hello@edutap.co.in. So guys, thank you so much for your patience, for your receptiveness, and I hope that this will help you in your journey ahead. Guys, if there is anything you wish to ask me, please drop your suggestion or input or your query in the comment section of the video, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. So all the very best once again. Keep up the good work, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy learning to all of you. All the best, guys. Bye bye. Take care.